right, so I'm excited. You know, this all kind of started a couple years ago with the Wireless Repair Expo at CTIA. CTIA letting us in their doors to explore what we're doing and give us a little legitimacy in our sector of wireless. So to see this event come to a regional place and be successful shows that Michelle is crazy, but she's also can bring things to reality. I remember, I don't remember how long it was actually. If you've been in this industry long enough, you've probably lost all concept of time because everything happens so fast. We kind of live in a world of things were 2 months ago, a year ago, we don't really know. But it wasn't too long ago Michelle started talking about this idea of, you know, CTIA is great and we don't want to take people away from CTIA, but you know, a lot of guys can't leave their shops for 2 or 3 days at a time. So is there an opportunity to build a business conference in a regional area? And I think this right here shows you can, because a lot of the people I met last night are right here from the Southeast and the Mid-Atlantic. And so it's really exciting. And so, as Michelle said, I'm Jeremy Willis. I'm with eTech Parts, the Director of Marketing. And to be honest with you guys, I'm humbled to have this opportunity to kick off the first ever Wireless Repair Roundup. It means the world to me. And I'm a Mac guy, so bear with me. Might have to. My deck that's in the book is pulled an audible about 2 in the morning last night because we're going to talk and try to keep it loose. So let's talk about who is here to get started. Kind of get a lay of the land. We all got to get together last night at the networking event, and I thought that was awesome. It was a great way to kick off this next couple days. Got to talk to a lot of people, a lot of familiar faces. So if we get a show of hands in the crowd, how many folks come from the repair shop community? I think that's a good possible. How many independent shops do we got? And then people representing the franchise world. No, see, the franchise guys are still asleep because they're not hungry. You guys are hungry. You guys are hungry. I love it. Right on. So what about carriers? I know we got a couple carriers sneaking in on us today. Any carriers? Hey, this guy. Right on. Thank you so much for coming. We're excited to have you. Obviously, the carriers are seeing the opportunity because a lot of them are sending the business to your shops. So I think you guys kind of are trying to see how you can maybe capitalize or build partnerships with the repair shops. So it's good to have you. There's some other suppliers in the crowd. Suppliers? Okay. Let's put those hands down. We don't need to pay attention to this. Just joking, just joking. It's so awesome to see Mobile Defenders and Revamp and Injured Gadget in the crowd. These guys are building amazing brands for our industry and keeping me on my toes every day. I know that, and it's awesome. I keep seeing, we kind of keep seeing the same group pushing this thing forward, and it's really great to see you guys. Thank you for coming. We got some people from the refurbishment recycling world here. They're having a fun year. 2015 was quite a change in our business and being able to source original products. So there's been a strong rise of the recycling and refurbished world. Then our additional revenue sources. I know we have some people on the list today. I see James here with RepairQ. He's from a software company. We got some accessory folks and some different people helping us generate some more revenue for our shops. So thank you all for coming. Let's see if I can do this. Look at that. So tell you a little bit about eTech Parts. We're parts, tools, and training for the wireless repair community. Been around since 2008. We're located in Olathe, Kansas, which is a suburb of Kansas City. You guys are probably familiar with Kansas City after this year with the America's team, Kansas City Royals, taking the World Series title and running for round 2 right now. So we got a dedicated staff, over 40 people back home. We got a good array of folks here with us today. We got a few people from our Territory Representative Program in the house. Cedron Connor, who is your Mid-Atlantic rep. Jake Brochu, who everybody knows, the golden boy of eTech Parts. Jake from eTech, as he's better known, holds down the Ohio Valley. Our customer service manager is here. Our great brand ambassador, Emily Zanger. Dave DeCucci, who's in charge of our training. Am I missing anybody? Brian Picorni, our CEO owner, is in the building today, so no pressure on me to get this thing done. So eTech Parts, I'll give you just a little bit of background. What really drove us as a company 5 years ago, 6 years ago, selling a lot of DIY kits to people that broke their own device. Those are the same people that really started this industry. And what was exciting for us was people that were fixing their own device, and all of a sudden their wife went to the office and said, hey, Bob learned how to fix his device. Next thing you know, he's fixing 6 devices. And he's having these conversations with us saying, Jeremy, and I spent like $2,000 on parts this month. And so we started having these conversations about, well, maybe I should open a kiosk in the mall, or maybe I should wrap my vehicle, or maybe I should open a storefront. And these conversations have continued to grow, and those same guys have 3 to 5 shops currently. And a lot of them are leaders in our industry currently, a lot of them being hired by bigger firms to be consultants. So what's really driven us as a company is the stories and success of our customers. I've been very fortunate to be in the field about 50% of the time the last 3 years. And when Michelle had contacted me about my topic today, which is the industry overview and where we're going next, I thought, all I instantly thought about was my time out in the field and these wonderful stories and experiences I've had to get to hang out with repair shops and learn their pain points in real time. And I thought, instantly about some people I could talk to you about. Some of these people are right in the crowd. I think August Langley is somewhere. He's got a tremendous story I would love to share, so I hope you can find him and hear it yourself. But what I decided to do, instead of me sitting up here and telling other people's stories, was take you out in the field with me. So about 3 weeks ago, I grabbed my multimedia specialist and we hit the road and went and saw some of our friends in the Midwest. And I'd like to show you guys a little movie today and take you out in the field and take you inside repair shops and get to hear firsthand from people and what they're experiencing, how they got to where they are today, and where they see things going. And we got some great representation from franchises to independent, to big city, to small market. So hope you guys enjoy this movie. We'll talk some more when it gets done. Well, let's skip that. I need some PC help up here. There we go.
My dad has been a successful business owner, very successful. He's owned his own business for as long as I can remember. And so when it was time to pick my industry, I went to him. His business drills for water, which is pretty much the most recession-proof industry you can get in. And he told me to find my water. That's exactly what I did.
I was an electronics technician in the service back in the 70s. When I got out of the service, came back to this area, and there really wasn't any jobs available, or so I opened up my little TV store. So got pretty big into selling the VCRs and servicing VCRs. We used to do 3 or 4 or 5 a week, did belt kits like crazy, and now they're gone. The TVs are kind of going away, so you got to find something to fix. Yeah.
I'd worked for the service provider for AT&T, and while I was with AT&T, customers were coming in, they had the broken devices, and we didn't have good solutions for them. So I remember thinking, like, man, if I knew how to repair these things, like, this is a gold mine, A couple years went by, a friend of mine got started in the industry, started repairing the phones, and I said, I know there's a market there. So we had customers at AT&T that were, that they didn't have great solutions for other than sending them to an Apple store, buying a new device. So we were able to open our first repair shop in Lafayette. The store really did better than even I had thought that it would do. And so we decided, hey man, if we can do it once, maybe do it again. So we got to 5 stores. We got to that point, and we just assumed that, man, there must be competition, because we were just in Louisiana, So we go to Houston, we go to Atlanta, and we go to some of these bigger markets. We look around, we see such a need for repair shops, because there's just, at that time, there was not a lot of competition out there.
After I stopped doing mobile repair, I opened up my first location in February of 2011. That was in a kiosk inside of Eden Prairie Center. You're right in the middle of the mall where everybody's going to talk to you. We were in that kiosk for about 7 or 8 months when we moved to an inline store within the mall.
Yeah, I used to work for Apple Retail. I was one of the store managers of the Ridgedale location, and loved Apple, had a great experience working there. It's been a fantastic company, and really was just looking to get involved in a smaller business. And Device Pit Stop really came in buying the buy, selling, and trading of electronics, but it's got the entire repair of all those devices. It's just, I love that we can do so much for people. We can really help people in a lot of different ways.
iFix Omaha started in 2011, and it was a home business. It was out of the basement, and it started gaining traction, and within a few months the phone was always ringing, so I hired my first employee, which was a receptionist. And what she did was basically just, we called it feed the tech. All she did was take calls and feed me jobs all day in my basement. And whenever I was on the bench, I could answer phone calls, so she was employed from her home whenever I wasn't on the bench. So we were trying to answer the phone, 12 hours a day. I thought that was the biggest thing, was just get a big market share as fast as we could and always have someone answering the phone.
My passion's business. I love small business. And that, I would say, coupled with my dad's advice of, find your water, led me to this industry. Franchising fit me perfect because I had the passion of an entrepreneur without the idea. There are certain entrepreneurs out there that, they have this novel idea that no one else has thought of, and they go through and patent it, and then they go to manufacturing and actually make that idea happen. I absolutely did not fall in this category. I did not have a grand idea. But that doesn't mean I wasn't an entrepreneur, or I'm not an entrepreneur.
Personally, I was not so concerned with the brand. I thought the brand was important, but I thought it was more important that we were servicing our customers. Thomas comes in and he's like, we have to establish a brand.
The first thing that I saw was, obviously, there was so much rapid growth, so quick and so fast, that there wasn't a consistent message, there wasn't a consistency across the board, across the locations that we had. And I knew that was going to be important based off of what our vision is and where the future was going for the In-N-Out brand. And we just had to be able to go through and build out, operating procedures, all the infrastructure. We had to change a lot of the hierarchy, and we had to create, obviously as a brand, who we are and what we believe, which is, our vision and what we believe in the In-N-Out brand is being able to provide premier retail experience regarding repair.
I think at Device Pit Stop you can get fantastic service. You get more of the one-on-one service, where in a lot of the big box retailers you don't really see that anymore. So we really try to take our time with our customers and explore the best options for them. And we really try to not upsell customers, but get them the right solution for what their needs are at the time. And if fixing the device is the right move, we're going to fix it for them. If they're sick of it and want to get something newer, we'll do that. So I just love that this concept has so many different ways that we can get people the right technology for them.
90% of your customer base they want you to take care of them. Take me by the hand and make it work, and that's what we do. We make it work for the customer. That is our brand, because we'll teach you that. That's what we do for our customers. We take all that middle ground out of them for you, We try to be that information center for the customer. Whereas the big box stores, granted, they're going to kill me on price point, but that's all they have is price point. They do not have service. They do not have that, hi Larry, how you going? How's your wife? They might know one or two of the people in the store, but this is when you get that personal relationship with your customer base, and it's kind of neat. I'm getting the grandkids coming in now. I've been in the business long enough that folks, the grandchildren are coming through, and I think that's pretty neat. Yeah.
We moved to our first shop a few years back after being out of the house for years, working in the house, and we're basically trying to open a new spot just about every year or so and continue to grow. but always focus on the customer. And I think that's why they keep coming back, because we really try to serve them. Our motto is honest, fast, reliable. And so that is what we always try to do with all of our jobs. We try to always offer the best service we can, the best price we can, and always be honest to the customer. Always just try to do the right thing, and we do it honest, fast, and reliably.
You know, I think branding used to an extent that sometimes it becomes just a marketing term, and it's hard to put your finger on exactly what it is. So if people can't identify what something is, they just kind of disregard it as this floating goal. That is it has to be a tangible. I mean, ultimately branding is what differentiates us from our competition. And we all have competition in this industry. It's how your customers know who you are, and it really gives your employees a target. Branding is like a flag that all of your team rallies around. And I love that, because I think branding is as important for the business itself, to set goals and then recognize people for living the brand, as it is for your customers to know what they're going to get and to be able to count on that when they walk in your store.
You have so much inconsistencies regarding quality. I knew that was important, that yeah, we want to win, we want to be able to scale up quicker and faster than anybody else, but we've got to be able to deliver an extraordinary customer experience to each and every one of our customers, to establish that brand standard, reproducing that all across all of our franchise locations. So if you go visit us in California, or if you go see us in Dallas or North Carolina, or Alabama and Louisiana, you're going to see that same consistency across the board. For us, building our brand is our number one priority, and I think there's many elements that go into that. But it starts, to me, with quality service with a great customer experience.
Our best source of getting new customers is just customer referrals, and somebody will have a great experience here. They'll tell their friend about us, or they'll tell their neighbor. One day we had actually a whole block of customers from the same street come in and get their phones fixed, because one neighbor got their phone fixed here and went back, and of course all their neighbors also had broken phones and needed repairs. So it's really rewarding to see those type of referrals come in, and sort of the natural way to grow your business through doing good work and gaining customers naturally.
The brand is a direct reflection of me, and it's a direct reflection of the people that work for me. I take it very seriously. I see the people that visit our stores out in the community I live in. That's my reputation on the line. Yeah, the brand is a direct reflection of me, and it's important. It needs to be consistent. There needs to be a consistent message, a consistent theme. It'd be too hard to grow a brand if you weren't consistent.
I think it's up to the individual businesses. I think they will determine what happens with our industry, because the growth in the last decade, you're looking at smartphones and personal computers and tablets. But I mean, just recently, we've got everything from the wearables to smart TVs to connected cars. I mean, technology is going in so many different directions, and it's really exciting. And I think ultimately, as a business, will establish itself by staying current and not being afraid.
We obviously do a lot of mobile electronic repair, and that's always going to be one of the backbones of this industry. But also, if we think about the future, we realize that a viable company should be something that can essentially say, if it's got a chip in it, we can fix it. If it's got a chip in it, we can service it, we can install it. And that brings you to the house and home very quickly. I mean, our homes are getting to be smart homes. Our thermostats, our curtains, our lighting. I think it's smart for businesses in this industry to start thinking now about how we might branch out to the house and home.
It's easy to look at this industry and see all the fear, right? All the things that could possibly happen. What if this provider does this? What if this manufacturer does this? What if the shortage happens here? What if this factory? And really, I know that that it's easy to get caught up in these type of thoughts and these what if moments. But I genuinely believe that when you just break it down and you look at the marketplace and you just lean on what is supply and what is demand, the demand for what we do in our industry and for the market that is there, the demand is unbelievable. People are walking around every day with broken devices, with technology, whether it's computers, laptops, tablets, phones. They need their problem solved, which they need their technology serviced, fixed. They need to be buying, they need to figure out where to get accessories. They need to figure out how to get refurbished devices at discount costs. So what we do and what we offer, it's a huge market for it. The demand is unbelievable. And I don't think the supply is coming anywhere as close in terms of there's not enough of who we are and what we are. There are, scattered, but in terms of the opportunity that I see is that this marketplace will consolidate and that there will become some type of national brand where it's recognizable, and you're going to know that whether it's us or somebody else, that there is going to be someone that is nationally recognized, that is going to be in business for a long time, because this demand's not going away. Technology is not going away. The fears are not going to go away. But like I said, I genuinely believe that the supply will follow the demand, and I have a great forecast for this industry, for this business. I think that we have many, many, many years left of this industry going from where it is today into a maturity that's going to happen probably in the next 2 or 3 years, and we'll be around for a long time.
The market's going to continue to grow. The market might, the competitors might consolidate a little bit. Some of the small places might get bought up or sell out. Some of the larger places might get a little bit larger. But there'll be a good amount of diversity, a good amount of competition. And I think the most important factor is that the market grows with, people knowing they can get their devices fixed and willing to seek out services of a third-party repair solution.
Phones have really outpaced computers, where now phones are your most expensive technology purchase. You can find a decent laptop now for $250, but to get a flagship phone, you're going to be spending $750 to $850. And with that shift, we're now repairing more phones and tablets than computers. And where in the past, the flip phone was sort of the throwaway device, now the laptop's becoming more of that replaceable device, and the phone is becoming what you want to repair and keep longer and have being a longer lasting device. So folks are willing to keep their existing device longer if they can keep it working and keeping it in good condition. So I think mobile repair is just going to continue to gain in popularity.
Yeah, I think too, in terms of future, kind of like some of the things that what John Mike was saying in terms of the market consolidating. I think that really this is what everybody has to get and understand. And whether you're franchising with In-N-Out or U-Break or CPR or iFixit or any of the other people that are out there, or whether you're an individual independent store operator, we all do, whether people want to admit it or not, we have one common vision that we need to get attached to, which is creating solidification and legitimacy to what we do, right, in our industry, the repair industry, tech repair. And so when I say that, I mean today there is no standard of certification, right? There's no standard of what is legitimacy, what is the repair standard, right? And so the reason that today is why we see so much of the market being unstabilized, and it still has elements of like being the wild, wild west, right, is because you don't have an industry standard of certification. So we all have to be able to work together towards, in my opinion, coming up and supporting and fostering a certification program. Because the truth is, big money, and you're talking about even carriers being able to get involved and other large insurance providers and other big players and big money getting involved. They're not going to get involved in this industry until there's some level of standard and certification. It's hard to answer. This is exactly what I think is going to happen, but in terms of forecasting what's going to be needed to be able to see great things happen with our industry, I know for a fact, and I think we can all agree, that there has to be a standard of certification, and we all need to work together towards achieving that goal.
about Atlantic, my town is, we're halfway between Des Moines and Omaha. It's about 70 miles to go either way. So I'm fairly insulated. It has to be a decision to go into Des Moines or Omaha to get a phone or get a product or something like that. I always say it costs a person $100 going to the city. Time you buy your gas, take your wife out for dinner, the 3 pairs of shoes she's going to buy, you know, and then get that item that you really wanted. So I always encourage people to shop local and stay in our community.
I don't know where we go from there. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that presentation. We'll get some slides back up here. That's the wrong one. Let's go with that. Anyway, I only got a few minutes left, so let's just chat a little bit about a lot of what we heard there. Kind of brings us up to speed on how we all got here. I think if you're attending this event, you kind of know how we got here, kind of some of the stories, and all those stories kind of mimic what we hear on the road every day, but everybody's got a unique journey to where they got. But right now, kind of where we are in the industry is, you know, coming out of, did anybody start in this industry, like specifically in the repair industry in 2015? Okay, so Bob Patel did. And he's still with us. So 2015 was quite a struggle with screen shortages and price increases going up. We never really knew truly what was going on. Everybody had a theory. Everybody had a philosophy. My personal favorite was the Japanese mafia was holding lots of LCDs on the ports in Hong Kong. Because, I mean, to be honest, it was a lot cooler to go home and tell my kids that I got to deal with the Japanese mafia today. And I don't know, so that's the one I like to go with. We still don't know, but we're seeing some stuff stabilize, and so we need to get back to talking about growing our business, because the race is on is kind of the theme of today and why we're all here. There is a lot of people coming into your market looking to capture that space. So really today and tomorrow, you have a tremendous opportunity to put emphasis and a sense of urgency on, you know, securing your marketplace, securing your region, securing the nationwide play, whatever your motivation is. But we do have a lot of people from the outside with big money and big ideas looking in. So while the window is open right now, you know, it's time to make that leap. So the last couple of years, we've been talking a lot about back office practices and kind of preaching, you know, the importance of inventory management, knowing what you need on hand to deliver same day repairs. That was crucial. You know, the 1 hour repair really is what kicked off this industry booming. So we kind of hope that everybody's got their inventory under control now, and we can start talking about that. James, is that true?
There's some work to be done, but everybody's doing a pretty good job.
Okay, so we feel pretty good about that. Another aspect the last 2 years was proper training, getting technicians trained up and up to speed, using the best practices to get the repair work done properly. And we feel like we've accomplished that goal a lot. At least the guys in this room who are shop owners, I know I talked to a lot of you have done training, and your technicians are being sent to training. Once again, if you need help with that, we do have a training university in Kansas City. We'd be happy to have you guys out and learn some basic fundamentals or micro siding, where we can do to help you guys out. So back of the office is under control. So as we kind of move to this sense of urgency to capture the marketplace and to differentiate ourselves in the marketplace, we got to look front of the house. And so are we doing what we want to do front of the house? Does everybody feel comfortable with what they're doing front of the house? Do they feel like they can improve front of the house? Do they feel like they have the appropriate added revenue sources front of the house? I mean, that's the most important question. Do you feel like at the counter, do you have the appropriate front of the house person? That's not when you're there, but when you're not there. Does anybody feel comfortable? You got a good play there? Because what we're seeing in the field still today, and technicians, we love you to death. You got skills that honestly I haven't opened a phone since the iPhone 4S. So I love you guys to death. The technical skills are amazing, but most of you will even admit to me you're not people. And so we're still seeing a lot of people at the front of the house that maybe shouldn't be at the front of the house. And a lot of times, still to this day, we're going into shops where there's nobody front of the house, and you stand around and wait for a couple minutes until somebody comes from around the back, and it's generally a technician, and they're in the middle of a repair, and they're flustered. And so I think really what I'd like for you to take away today and from this video is you really got to start thinking about your brand and your customer experience. Obviously, branding is near and dear to my heart, but it's important to me for you guys to know that, brand is different than marketing in a lot of ways. It's a part of the whole marketing mix, but brand is who you are, who your employees are, what your community, experiences with you. It encompasses everything about what you're trying to accomplish in your community and with your audience. So that all starts with that front of the house person like I'm talking about. I love to go into a shop and see a repair shop owner engaged with the customer, because nobody is more involved in that conversation than that repair shop owner. And they're so passionate about that interaction with the customer. But you guys got to get out in the community and build this brand and become the hometown hero that you need to be. You need to get out there and build with businesses, with schools. So you need to find that front of the house person that will buy in to the passion that you have as an owner, buy into the passion of the brand and what you're trying to accomplish with your company. And then once we get that done, let's evolve to the point of maybe putting somebody in the store to do some sales work. I talked to a lot of repair shops that say, oh, the guy across town, he's bleeding customers dry on upsells. And it's like, I think we all are trying to grow our business a little bit. There's a way to go about upsells in an appropriate way, in a quality way. So I think if we get the right front of the house person in place and get a salesperson in place, you guys are going to see bigger opportunities for your repair shops. To accomplish that goal, you're going to have those added values like accessories. Now, most of you guys all think you're doing well with accessories, and I see a lot of good opportunities out there to improve on that. Once again, that whole customer experience plays into how you're selling accessories. So when a customer comes in the store, do you have a nice full display of accessories, or do you have a peg, a slat wall with some pegs, and you got 3 deep here and a hole here and a hole here and maybe 2 on a peg here. And there's just so much opportunity to increase your customer experience by just taking a few minutes every morning and cleaning that accessory wall up. And just thinking about how your customers experience that additional revenue you're trying to make. So what I'd like for you guys to do from time to time when you're out and about running errands, if you're able to leave your shop and you come in at 2 o'clock on a Tuesday after running errands, just stop when you walk in the door and take a look around at what's going on in your shop. Take a look around the interaction the customer's having with your employees, and take a look at the accessory wall. Take a look at, how things are going and the lighting. And if the TV is on the wall, put something on the TV. Please put something on the TV. I'm not trying to be harsh here, but please put something on the TV. So anyway, we got to establish that brand. You got to have that great customer experience. That's what's going to differentiate yourself from the guy across town, and that's going to solidify your place in the market. And you got to get that down at the one store level before you can grow. So get that down, get that brand, know your customer experience, envision the vision of what somebody experiences when they come in your shop. Know what you want your community's relationship to be with your brand. And then a piece of advice I want to give you, and we saw one pretty extreme measure in that video, is as you go to grow that brand and you look at multiple locations, please consider mid-markets. So many people have rushed into the major cities, and it's pretty much shut down for the most part. And I got to tell you, I've been to some beautiful, beautiful small towns in the last 3 years that there is not one opportunity to get your phone for it. I've thought about just saying, you know what? This is a great place to live. I might open up a repair shop here and just start a new business. But I would really ask you to consider serving those communities, because those communities are so supportive, and they have tech, and they need those tech devices repaired. Chandler, where's Chandler? Chandler, how many people live in your town? 8,000. 8,000. And what's your growth been like the last couple of years? Constant.
Last month.
Yeah, so that's exciting to me. He's serving a community of 8,000 and growing his business. Where's August Langley at? August Langley, how many people are in your town?
Like 35,000.
35,000. And how many employees you got now? 6. August is an amazing story. I want you guys to get a chance to talk to August at some point today. I got to meet August when him and his wife were just getting started. Now, like I said, he's got 6 employees. He's doing something that can really be done in a community he's gone into an old historic downtown that's under revitalization. He's got himself in one of those buildings, and he's contributing to his community and becoming part of that community. Because really where I think where we need to go, well, I got a few minutes left, the idea to me is, I grew up in the 80s. I know it might be hard to believe, but I am an 80s baby. And what happened when something tech related went down in your house or in your car in the 80s? Where did you go? There you go. Exactly. Now, Radio Shack that story didn't end real well, right? But go back to that thought of what you did back in the 80s, where your dad, the first thought he had was to go to that neighborhood Radio Shack. That doesn't really exist anymore. Online has kind of killed, a lot of the things, a lot of the consumer products you can go online and get. The big box stores don't really fulfill that need. Radio Shack's obviously gone. And the Apple Store, how many people love going to the Apple Store? Exactly. So my thoughts are, you guys are the new wireless. You really are. You're the new wireless. You're the new life spirit of wireless. You guys are passionate. You're excited. You're here today because you want to find what's next. You want to see what the new thing is. So I believe there's a tremendous, tremendous opportunity to become that tech destination in your community, in your neighborhood. Whether you're in a big city like Atlanta or a small town like Florence, South Carolina, you have an opportunity to be that destination for your neighborhood that's seeking education, products, service, whatever it may be, based around repair. So when something goes wrong, you're the first thought that they're going to go see. And that goes back to what Jason DeWater, who's actually in the audience with us today, was talking about, which is the big boom of the IoT, the Internet of Things, and everything being connected. Everything is going to be done from those handheld devices that we all depend on, our paychecks depend on mostly today. And so as the home gets more connected, as the car gets more connected, the need, I actually just recently read a blog last week, I believe, that Hyla Mobile put out, where they were talking about we haven't even seen the need for refurbished devices, because all this new stuff's happening, they're gonna have to get deployed with devices. So you're gonna have to, it's just incredible to think. We haven't even started. We really haven't started. And so these Internet of Things opportunities, these smart home opportunities, these are things you could have in your shops and educating people about. There's just, the road is endless, but know your brand, know where you're going with your market, and then really seek out this opportunity to be the 1980s Radio Shack in your neighborhood. And don't go rush into like drones and things. There's always going to be products like that to sell. The drones, the scooters. I know I saw a bunch of scooters. We all got the scooters, and that was great. And every year there's going to be cool new products like that to sell. But focus on some products that create solutions for the customer. These smart home things, for example, they're creating a solution for customers. When I went to CES, you couldn't even walk down the halls of the startup arenas, because everyone's so excited. They're so excited to see what's new. And almost all that stuff was creating a solution. I saw incredible stuff for like elderly people and people with Alzheimer's. That market alone, the stuff that they're doing in a home, and your customers are going to come in for a repair, and you have an opportunity to maybe educate them about something like that. And maybe outfit their parents' home with some crazy, new smart technology. So anyway, as you can tell, I'm excited. I get really, really excited about all this. It's crazy to think we've been doing this for 5 years, and we're just getting started. So thank you guys all for coming to this event. It really all starts today and tomorrow. You got a crowd full of people to network with and to grow. And I promise you, been to a lot of events like this over the last couple of years. You're going to have lifelong friendships that come out of this. You guys are going to be connecting months down the road. And then the people coming up to talk to me, talk to you guys after me. I can't wait to jump in the crowd and hear some fantastic speakers that are going to all teach you about improving your customer experience, whether it be warranties, accessories, store fixtures. Just soak it up. I really beg you guys to soak it up. And then tomorrow, a lot of you are flying out, but if you got time, please go to the Mobile Carrier Show. I had the opportunity to go to the show in Fort Lauderdale last fall, and literally my head exploded about all these things that are being promoted to the carrier stores. The carrier guys are getting shown all these wonderful new technologies and softwares that we could have access to. There's no reason why we can't get involved in some of those things. And we're actually heading down the path with a few of those. And I'd love to chat with a lot of you guys about some of these programs that eTech is developing with some of these folks that are involved with things like the CCA program. But please go check it out. You guys are the new wireless. Let's keep going. Let's keep pushing forward. And you know, while I romanticize about moving to a small town and settling down and living a simple life, the next speaker, Anthony Martin, he's about to take a global domination front. So he's thinking bigger than nationwide. His company, iCracked, is definitely won the race in the mobile technician world. And they've built a brand that, you know, speaks to everything we've been talking about today, and we'll be continuing to talk about the importance of brand. iCracked is going to be getting in so many different things and pushing forward so many interesting new software technologies. I can't wait to see where they're going next. I've had an opportunity to go to their offices in Redwood City several times, and I just get completely envious of their culture. It's out of control. It's the crazy Silicon Valley, Facebook, Google world. Like, what do you guys got, like Barefoot Tuesdays and all kinds of fun stuff? Anyways, without further ado, Mr. Anthony Martin.